Welcome back, everybody, to Unconditional Surrender. Me, myself, and I playthrough of the main event scenario. Game is posed by GMT Games, designed by Salvatore Vasta. We are getting ready to finish up the Western Operations phase of 1944, September 1944, and then we will begin with the Soviet operations, and then when my timer goes off, we will stop there with whatever battle I'm finishing and move on to the next phase, depending on how long this takes me to finish up the West. There's not a lot left to really do here. I think I want to do this. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to take off the 2 points. No, I did take off those 2 points. I could have the second armored. Wait a minute. The British second armored attack Rotterdam. I'd be -2. He's not within range of surprise attack, so I'd be +3, -2. I'd be +1. And he'd be at a 0. And I could throw in an airplane if I really wanted to. Would that help me? I think it would, because I might be able to take Rotterdam and maybe even Amsterdam, circling around the 1st Panzer. All right, let's try this. Let's activate the second armored. That's 2 more. Attack the 3rd garrison. I have to use my bomber. I'm going to run out of supply here. So that I'm +1 for British. Germans are at 0 because they're +2 German, -2 garrison. +1 for the British. +2 because I'm armored. I'm not within range of the surprise attack marker anymore. Then I get +2 for the airplane, and then I'm -1 for the river, -1 for the city. So it's +3 to 0. And that cost me 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 6 movement points left. That's important. And so then I attack. And the British roll. 4 + 3 is a 7. Germans roll a 4. 7 to a 4 is a DR. However, the garrison has nowhere to retreat to, so he is put on the eliminated box. But I don't get any will points for that. I will take the hack, just because I can. And then I will attack with 3 more movement points, the 5th garrison here. And I'm not going to use the airplane this time. I'm just going to go with my +2 to his 0. And the British roll. 4 + 2 is a 6. Germans roll a 6. So nothing happens. And I'll use my last 3 movement points to attack him again. And the British roll 5 + 2 is a 7. The Germans roll a 2. 7 to a 2. 7 to a 2 is actually a DD, so that's actually better for me. So I actually eliminate a unit, and I will take the hex. I know you might say, what are you doing? You're going to be out of supply. Well, only for a moment, because then I'm going to spend a point to activate the home guard and go 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets me back in supply without me having to move any ships. And it still lets me, I'm only going to have 2 bomb markers this turn, but it lets me fly this airplane out of here into there, which saves me a supply point because I'm not in here anymore. And then we had stuff to do here in northern Italy. I have 2 American airplane sorties, so I think I'm going to use them. Try and do something to these Germans that are on either side of me. First one to attack, I think, is the 17th. Try and drive him back across the Danube. So I'll activate the American 5th. He's +1 because he's American, +2 because he's armor, -1 because he's attacking into horrible terrain. Germans are +2. I will go ahead and throw one of my American airplane sorties to give me a +4 to +2. And that is best we can all do. So +4 to +2, the Americans roll. 4 + 4 is an 8. The Germans roll 3 plus 2 is a 5, and an 8 to a 5 is a DR. Germans are forced to retreat. They only have one legal retreat route, which is 3122. Because I have a zone of control on the other one, and it's Switzerland on the other side, and a Lakes hex side zone. And then that cost me 3, so I had 7 left. And then I'm going to spend another 3. So now I have 4 left to attack the Africa army, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. It's going to end up being +4 to +2. And just trying to see if I get a retreat, then I can move into Munich, capture it, and then reestablish my supply line somehow. I'll just worry about that later. So 3124 is where I want to end up, but I'm attacking 3224. And it's the same thing as before. +2 for the German, plus 1 for the American, 2 for armor, 2 for airplane, that +5, -1 for the rough terrain. So it's +4 to +2. And the Americans roll. A 6 plus 4 is a 10. Oh, you're a really good roll. Germans roll. 3 plus 2 is a 5. 10 to a 5 is a DR. Germans must retreat. Wow. Wow. Holy Toledo, Batman. I can't retreat into Munich because I'm not putting one gap into them. I could retreat back here to 3225, but then that would leave the entire center there open, and I'll have to move someone anyway. So maybe this is a more threatening to go into 3125. Oh. Because he could go move into there for 2 and then attack me if I move to 3125. So I'm thinking I want the Africa army to retreat across the river, and then I'll just move them around to the other side of the Danube. We try to isolate this American somehow. Although that's not going to be easy to do. Is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Definitely not going to be easy to do. Because he can put the British right there behind him in Munich. And this guy can go to here. Keeps him from being isolated. They both would start supply next turn. If they make a big push in the south, both things could close up around Stuttgart. I'm not sure where I should retreat to. If I go to 3125, the Americans can move two movement points to take Munich, and then attack the Africa Corps with their last 2 movement points to force me to retreat again. Which I think is what I want them to do. Because it'll only be +3 to +2. Yeah, I think I want them to do that. I don't want them to be able to go 1, 2, and then move along that rail line and then bring up a British garrison to hold the city and just start doing all sorts of weird crap to me. Yeah, that could be very dangerous for me. Yeah, that's what I think I'll do. And the Americans, of course, will go into Munich. Place a control marker. That causes the German will to drop 2 more. So I've taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in cities and 2 in German units. So from 3080s down to 30. We haven't even done the Soviets yet. Things are not looking good here for the Germans. And then yes, I will attack the Africa army this turn with my last 2 movement points. And it's a +3 to a +2. Americans roll 6 plus 3 is a 9. Wow, good die rolls. Germans roll 5 plus 2 is a 7. 9 to a 7, I believe, is nothing. 9 to 7 is nothing, so they stay there. Now, the American is technically in supply here, so I don't actually have to move forward with him. Question is do I want to go take a pot shot at the Liguria with the British, or do I want to move the British into southern Germany? Because I could move the... I could move the 8th Army. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10 to 32, 24, let's say. And then move the 10th Army 1, 2 into 34, 420. 223, 34, 24 to keep everybody in supply. The Germans could, move their garrison unit down here to try and cut supply through Venice, which would be annoying. But I'd have two Allied units sitting in southern Germany on the southern bank of the Danube that start their turn in supply. We're going to have poor weather next turn, too. That's the other thing. Or I could take the 8th Army and go 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7. Try and pop the Liguria. I'd only be +1 to that, so it's not likely I would kill him because I don't have any air to help support him. So I'm really in a quandary here of how to do this. I'm thinking I'm almost going to leave the American armored unit there, let the Germans try to do something, and then I'll move the British up. So instead of doing that, I'm going to do this. I'm going to activate all these guys for 4 more. So I should have had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 off of 36 should be 27. And then on the faction card here, how do I want to do this? I was thinking of doing a massive assault to just try and push up a hex. So that'd be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, -2. Yeah. So what we do is we throw this here, this one over here. Throw a tanks marker for each guy. Whoops. Imagery guy doesn't get to move. Throw a tanks marker on each guy. So they both think they're tanks. And then I make this guy the primary, the 8th Army. He is +1 because he's British. +2 because he's armor. And then he has 2 buddies who think they're tanks. So they each add +2. 1, 2, 3, 4. -1 for the ridge line, -1 for the rough terrain. +5 to +2. Be nicer if I could have surrounded him. But I don't think I could. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, technically I could have moved him 1, 2, 3. That would give me an isolated bonus. So yes, I'm going to do that. This tank's going to be here. He would move here because that's 1 on the rail line, 2, 3 to there. Then 4 for the ridge, 5, 6 for the rough terrain, 7 for the 18th. And then I get an extra +2 because I have that. So it's +7 to +2. Let's see if we can actually eliminate this guy. The British roll. 3 + 7 is a 10. Not going to happen. Germans roll. 2 + 2 is a 4. So we go look at a 10 to a 4. Oh my god, it is a DD. I just managed to pull it off. So the Germans are flipped for the DD. They are to be retreated, which they cannot do. So they go to here, and they lose another will point for that. Down to 29. And then the 8th Army will advance into the hex. Now we bring up the turn track, and these tank markers go back over there. And that's a very good breakthrough in the south. Southern Germany has been breached. Now, admittedly, they can take the 17th and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six, 7, 8. They could get all the way to like 30, 20, 34, 23, cutting off my supply lines and such. But it's fairly easy for me to get back there. I could take a British thing, go pick up the Malta garrison and drop him in Venice. Maybe I don't want to take that hex with the British. Actually, I welcome the Germans coming that way because I can move guys around to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I would get an isolated assault on him, so that might be worth it. If he wants to put a real infantry unit down here where I can possibly kill him and take another production point, or a production point, willpower point from him, I think I'm willing to take that chance. Might be the wrong thing to do. Maybe the entire Italian army group, will be destroyed. Okay, now I've got to do terrible things. It's called supply. But I'm pretty sure that's it for the British. They've spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Spent 9. They started with 36. So, yep, they're at 27. Now they got to do supply. So, I've got 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 5 unit, 6 unit, 7 unit, 8 unit, 9 unit, 10 unit, 11 unit, 12. That doesn't seem right. I should have more than that. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Man, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in France, and there's 6 in northern Italy. So it's 19 total units to keep in supply. So I'll start off here. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We'll make this one be 17. This one will be 18. And this one will be 19. So that's 19 supply points I just popped up on the board there. So interesting looking breakthrough in the southern part of Germany, but that's going to hurt the Germans because that they're down 3 of their home factories. 1 in Munich, 1 at Metz, and 1 at Aachen. I didn't break the Rhine. I did break the Meuse. I don't know that the Moselle is actually defensible at this point. It might be, but the Rhine is the more important defensive position. So, and we got to get somebody down on the Danube. Oh boy, we're in a world of hurt. Here is the Germans. So we don't have a lot of places to put units that are like close at hand. We still have to deal with the Russians. It looks like it took me a good 20 minutes to do that British turn, according to my timer. So I think I'm actually just going to call this the Western Operations Part 2 phase. And we're going to start up with the Russians in the next video. So, close this down. And what did I do? So that is the second part of the Western Operations phase for September 1944. We will return when we are getting ready to go into the Soviet operations phase of September 1944. Since this is the last fair weather turn for sure in 1944, we're trying to make sure we get the most out of it with the Allies and the Germans. The Germans kind of held up. They had a couple of really bad die roll splits in southern Germany, so that the Allies were able to pull off a quick snatch of Munich and actually lost a unit there, which hurts a lot. So, I'm Dren608. If you like my videos, please subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. We will return in a little bit with the Soviet operations phase for September 1944. Probably part 1 because there's a lot to do with the Soviets. So that will probably also be two parts because we also have to add in the end of turn things. So, until then, bye-bye.